is about the Irish language.
Exactly. So I'm speaking from my perspective of the language, but basically I grew up with like no kind of connection to it. So my project is associating the language, which is something that's kind of like disintegrating in Irish identity, and attaching it to also a process to the landscape, which is also something that's disappearing. So I've been looking at the Irish peat bogs, which next year will be something that doesn't exist. And I'm using that acronym as a metaphor, as like the identity being something that's fragmented and becoming a notion of like disappearance and stuff.
Wow.
So what you see before you is like me in the peat bog reenacting, role playing the stacking of peat, which is a material that's used historically for like heating homes and burning. But it's really ingrained in like Irish society and culture. So I'm using also this installation as like an archive to showcase the history, because in 10 years time the physicality of these peat briquettes won't exist, and you won't be able to hold it. And I want to explore like this kind of notion of the void of Irish culture, and how we associate with it when you can't speak the language and also access this kind of stuff.
I have a friend who does Irish language classes on Zoom. It's like 10 Zoom lessons. It's really cheap. It's my friend, he's Irish, he's living in London. He does this like anti-imperialist language class, and one of it is teaching Irish. So if you ever wanted to, I'd really recommend this
like
thing.
we learned it in school, but it's like this like post-colonial kind of thanks so much. I have this like, it's like this post-colonial effect where like Irish people, not everyone, but a lot of people have this thing where it's like it's unuseful or not useful, and it's like something you learn in school, and then after school it's not already in society, so you kind of lose touch with that. So you don't practice it on the daily.
I guess what I think of learning other languages is conceptualizations. So and mappings. So the way you rethink about territory and land and taxonomies and systems. Like some languages have 100 words for snow or 100 words for love, and it's similar.
So it's like, exactly, and I think your language gives you an access point to cultural things that don't translate into the English. So you're missing like fragments of like cultural things that you can't speak of, or you know, like.
But you have this secret. So when the hunger strikes took place, there was like, they could speak to each other in Irish, and the guards wouldn't know what the fuck they're on about. So you have this inner sort of secret language, and that's cool too.
And, like it's also a language of resistance, but it's just something that I don't know, I just think it's at a pivotal moment where it needs to be regenerated, and if it's not, it just disappears. And then it's how do you reclaim your identity if it does disappear? So this is like a commentary on a process of materiality that also is going to disappear. So next year this whole thing won't exist.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That's it.